well, the person formerly known as Prasad.
Or just inviting
And you'll see what I mean in a moment.
You invite me. Yay, you invited me. I get to go live with you. All right.
There might be a echo. Prasad, if you want to start, I'll figure out the echo in a moment.
Sounds good. Greeting everyone to Daily Invocation, Souls Check-in, your home and beloved source for inspiration and information on your path of healing, attainment, and liberation. Here at Brave Earth on Tuesday, August 31st. I'm hearing some feet and bustles. There's a bunch of energy. The cicadas are going in the background. You might be able to hear. So we will invoke all of it into ourselves and invoke change and excitement. I had a plan today to talk about something because Karunadara wasn't going to join us. And then I saw that smiling face. So here we are. Her meeting got done. So she said, let's talk about hair or lack thereof.
Yes, I jumped online. Prasad let me know yesterday that he shaved the beard off, and I almost can't take my eyes away because I knew there would be a difference. But how long has it been, Prasad, since you had the beard?
So I last shaved when I turned 40, and I did an experiment with hair and the whole Samson and Delilah story. And the Sikhs are very much into the energy and hair. Right now, I'm 43 and a half. So I have been 3.5 years with a lot of hair, a lot of hair.
Also, to give this some context, Prasad and I have known each other for 6 years. So, so half of the time that I've known you, you've had long hair. You made the decision to grow it out and then to the beard, and we've been through iterations of the beard. And it's. I mean, I know we're laughing about it and speaking very casually, but it actually is a pretty big deal. I think a lot of us may have heard about the indigenous in North America, at least it's known that when I don't know if it was the American or British Army came into town, they found out that the indigenous men in particular believed that their powers as warriors, as of spirit and physical worlds, that the power and the energy was kept in the hair. And so indigenous men, also women, right? But the story I know is that mostly the men. And so when they were captured, the army did maybe experiments on using the hair. You might know better than I do, but
I do, yeah. I'll jump in
Yeah.
because there was literally science, and I don't know the exact details because is it a government in the army? But in World War II, I can't speak before World War II other than knowing, and we're not going to go too far into the horrors of what the colonizers did, but they literally forced the guys to cut their hair pre-World War II. In World War II, they took the Navajo especially and used them as trackers to go out and find where troops are and use their heightened senses. So here's the interesting part that Kurundera is talking about, is it being the military and not even, and at that point in World War II, maliciously, they just cut their hair for the military. And they lost their ability to track because of so many generations and so much energy and how the hair tuned in to nature and the environment. It was a literally documented part of their ability. And somehow some guys, or as the guys grew out their hair, they were able to get their powers back. So it's literally a scientifically proven thing. There's science behind it. So yeah, really amazing. So
Yeah.
that being understood,
I just want to say beautiful, and please check other sources because we are not, as much as we love and will claim every drop of indigenous blood in us, because we do have it, there are other sources that will tell you the stories and the facts much more beautifully than we can. And maybe we'll link. I know of one of them that we follow on Instagram, so I could put that below.
Yeah. And then to finish up the story very quickly, there's the biblical Samson and Delilah references where she took away his power. And then a lot of you know I'm really a big fan of Kundalini yoga and the Sikhs. Well, I say over and over, it's my favorite yoga, but I say that about many yogas. But yeah, the gentlemen with the turbans and the long beards, very much part of their philosophy is the hair holds energy. So when I turned 40, I said, you know what? We're going to do Prasad's little scientific experiment and see if there's any truth to that. And so, like many things in life, being much cleaner now, much cleaner, I can say, is there energy in hair or isn't there? Is this a myth or is it real? And the answer is yes.
That's a perfect leeway. One, because we ended on the note of life as an experiment. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before. So lovely synchronicity there. But also on the other end of things, right? So I've been wanting to shave my head, and I will. Sorry, mama. But I will. I also, for me, I haven't studied too many, historical facts or what that means, but I know enough internally, intuitively, to know that I want it done in a ritualistic manner. So we're talking about the same thing, just the different sides of the coin. Growing the hair, cutting the hair off, etc. But there's definitely a lot to it. And I wanted to mention, because when you mentioned the Sikhs, we went to the Golden Temple in Amritsar. You're better at timeline, 2-3 years ago.
2019, yeah.
2019, and the men that were with us on that journey were able to get the turbans. But I just was tuning into the energy of the Sikhs and how at the Golden Temple they're just constantly reading their holy book, and it sounds like chant and prayer, and yeah, wow, you just transported me there. So that's another conversation. But yes, absolutely, Sikh mysticism. Wow, amazing.
Yeah, and we should have thank you. Let's have that conversation because one of the facilitators here and I were talking about the Sikhs a few days ago, and thank you. Mental note for another great invocation, invoke the Sikhs. So in the meantime, yes, there is energy in hair and it's real. And that's a blessing and a curse. So wrapping up this Reworld residency and about to leave this retreat center, a lot of people here are saying, oh my God, Prasad, what does it feel like? How is it? And I'm like, I feel lighter. Physically, everyone knows I'm hairy. The amount of hair gone, I am physically lighter. But of course, it's not just physical, it's metaphysical. So are the Sikhs correct? Yes. Is it a good idea to not be attached to hair and energy? Yes. At least that's the report I'm happy to give now. Do I have any regrets? Definitely not. Do I miss my hair? No, or beard? No, not really. Because I'm interested in source and traveling as far as possible, healthily, safely, but definitely getting to source, where does energy come from? And unattachment, which means not attaching to energy and the power of the beard. The Sikhs, and I love them, identify as warriors for God. And that's so beautiful. And let's go directly to God. So the lightness on the way there. And I'm happy to report, and you can probably feel as we invoke this, the release, cleaning up old patterns, old experiences. A lot of you who know me know the last 3.5 years have been pretty intense. So it's nice. And the people are commenting, wow, you have lips, Prasad, you have a face. And it's like, yeah, I do. I kind of forgot that. Karuna Dara can remember we were at a constellation event a couple years back, and like 4 or 5 women like channeled divine feminine and sorceress and goddess and are like, Prasad, you're hiding something. I couldn't be, yeah, exactly. Thank you. Prasad, stop hiding. And I literally trimmed the heck out of my beard the next day. I didn't shave it, but I trimmed it really good because I trusted. And at that point, I didn't feel anything. And I still am going to trust that they were into something because it was so strong. So anyways, I'm rambling. Karunadera, please comment.
No, it's I didn't know if we were gonna go there with the family constellation, but you know, we've been putting off telling you guys what family constellations are for those of you that aren't aware, and we've had the honor of working with at least 4 really well-known, top-notch, amazing facilitators that we love dearly, still attend their online events if they have any, but that was exactly coming up. And yes, you saying the word lightness several times today, I feel it. It's not just you saying it, but I feel it. There's more, like the word jovial comes up for me when I'm tuning in, and you know, even hopping on the call, and like I just can't stop smiling because it's a bit of a shocker. The people here who you've met and love you, you know, were like, you have him send us a picture because they can't even imagine you without it. And I do think that there's a lot to that family constellations, and like a lot of healing work, sometimes bits and pieces move right away. And then look at this, right? That took years for you to go. It feels like a little bit, that piece feels a little bit to me like full circle of, you know, what are you hiding, hidden? Maybe you're not hiding, but something hiding. Or so I'm really excited to continue to see the developments with this piece of your own evolution. And
Yeah,
thank
thank
you for
you,
sharing it with
Celine.
everyone.
Yeah, and crispness, because everyone doesn't know that literally 12 minutes ago was Karunadera's first time seeing this. This was last night, okay, hours ago. So this is her first time. So you all get to share the excitement and newness for her
Feeling.
too. Yeah. And Karunadera, I did send it right before this. I did send a photo to our beloved Brian and Jody
Okay.
at Finca there. So yeah, you can enjoy it. It's a fun photo, and everyone else can enjoy that. All our social media friends here. So yeah, changes. And like Karunadera said, to highlight that, the non-linearity. Us not being fully God realized yet, don't know what was set in motion a couple years ago. You know, okay, so these powerful force said, Prasad, you're hiding something. So I said yes, and I worked on it the next day, and I didn't sense it, and it maybe didn't complete until now, and maybe it's still unfolding, and maybe tomorrow I'll shave my eyebrows and eyelashes. Just kidding, probably going to keep those, but yeah. So the non-linearity and the unfolding is exciting.
Two things, and we're getting close to ending. This is a longer one than usual, but we're feeling pretty inspired, as you can see. Yes, and I remember we recently wrote, you know, we did some writing for Trauma to Triumph Immersion, and we noted how at the time of signing up, just you deciding to take that step to go to the workshop, to sign up for the retreat or the 90-day program, whatever it is, right? To show up to a family constellation. The moment you decide is when the work begins. And you've probably heard this before, but I just can't say it enough. Yeah, again, we have like 10 topics all in this one piece. But the practical way, because I hope and I think that you guys can sense into the energy of change and transformation, transition, letting go, release, lightness, all of these things that we're talking about, whatever resonates with you. If you want to take this practice and this experiment and try it out for yourself, all you have to do, you don't have to make a drastic change unless you really want to, but next time you go get a haircut or change the coloring of your hair, do it with awareness. Why are you choosing that color or that cut? And how can you give it some intention? And how can you tune into these subtle and not so subtle changes inside of you as you go through your day? So that's kind of a modern day mystic tip right there.
Okay. Thank you, everyone, for embracing change with us and literal enlightenment. And we will see you tomorrow.